Good evening, CAN TV viewers. Thank you for tuning in to the Doty Report on Comprehensive Health. My name is Yolanda Givens, and I am your host for this evening. We thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about housing, affordable housing, understanding housing. We have a expert sitting next to me that has experience in housing for 30 plus years. She's a founder and CEO, and she a boss lady in her own right. So I'm excited to have her. Facebook, we're excited to have her. But before we begin a discussion, I want to give a shout out and a thank you and hello to the founder and CEO of Georgia Doty Comprehensive Health Organization, Mr. Don Doty, and his wife, Miss Joyce, and of course to our wonderful board of directors. So let's get right into the conversation. I'm going to have Miss Mary Jones give us a brief intro of herself, and then we'll start talking about housing.
Thank you. I am so excited about being on the show, and I'm excited to be here with you and to talk about housing. And that's where my focus in life has always been. As Ms. Yolanda stated, I have been in housing for a very long time. That's really all I know. I believe that it's the most important thing, because if you have somewhere where you can regroup, you can get up the next morning and handle just about anything.
Right.
So we want everyone to have that opportunity, to have that peace so that they can deal with life's challenges.
Okay. So let's talk about some of the services that your organization provides. What are some of the services as it relates to housing?
Well, I want to just start with the fact that our services are for everyone.
Okay.
If you need housing in your life, that's just about everyone.
That's everybody.
So we don't put more focus on anything, any group over another. So the veterans, the elderly, the young, those that are in trouble or they don't understand what it is they want, we try to help them plan towards the one thing we know they're going to need, which is housing.
Okay.
So that service is centered around affordability. And I have this thing about that word. It's been so lopsided for a long time. Affordable housing was defined as, or thought and understood to be, I just want to be able to afford it, so make it cheap.
Right, okay.
But that's not all that affordable housing, or I believe nothing about affordable housing really matches that definition.
Okay.
Affordable housing has two sides. One is just a fairness in the community, that there are supposed to be housing available that matches the area's population gross income.
Okay. That makes sense.
Now, or it prices you out, right? You can't live there.
Right.
That's one side of affordable housing. There should be enough for everyone to be able to say, I can live where I want because there are areas that I can afford.
Right.
So the other side of affordable housing that's never talked about, which is where our focus is on what is your capacity financially.
Okay.
We're not talking about that enough. So we have adopted that that foundational focus because 85% of the people that we have advised don't even have a budget or know what it is. So how can you know what your financial capacity is?
Right.
So your financial capacity is based on what you can actually afford.
Right.
And it's based on what you want, what your desires are past today. We asked them to look 5 years into the future.
Right.
Why buy a home that's not going to be suitable for you, or an apartment?
Right.
Or a box under the wherever your home is.
Right.
Why do that if you have not looked at least 5 years in advance?
Right. You're right. Yeah, because when I first bought a home, I didn't think about what my budget would look like or be the next year or the year after that or the year after that. I bought then. At that moment, I don't even remember talking about a budget.
That is just remarkable and mind-blowing to me after I learned that it's an important tool.
Right. So let me ask, and we are talking about housing, affordable housing. We're going to talk a little bit about how we learn and prepare ourselves to purchase homes, services, or different opportunities for veterans and maybe even seniors. So if you have a question, we have a expert here today. Call in to ask your question. 312-738-1060. Make sure you call in because she's here to answer questions to the I'm sure she got the answer for you. So talking about affordable, I don't even know if I thought about it like that. Is there affordable housing in the urban communities based on the income levels? Does that really exist?
It does.
Okay.
It really does.
Okay.
Because that's one of the city, state, and federal mandates under HUD.
Oh,
That's
okay.
their job.
Okay.
So HUD's job is to make sure housing in general, that everyone has an opportunity to acquire it.
Okay.
So they have to deal with the gross monthly income and making sure that there are areas that would accommodate that. That's where all of the 1% projects, 1% interest rate, 2% interest rate projects come from, where they'll build a building and they'll say you have to allow this particular area of residents in this income bracket to reside in that property
Right.
for a series number of years.
Okay, so that's good to know. That's definitely good to know that everyone has an opportunity.
It's out there. It just needs to be more.
It just needs to be more, but everybody has an opportunity to be a homeowner, to
yes.
acquire affordable housing. What about programs?
And, I'm sorry,
Go
not
ahead.
just home ownership though, rental too.
Rental too.
Rental too.
Rental too. What about special circumstances for like veterans? What's available for veterans?
Well, because agora, that word means Greek, it's a Greek word from marketplace, which means you bring whatever you have and you're supposed to leave with more in addition to what you have. And with veterans, we believe that yes, they do need housing. Everyone does. We deal with whatever they have as far as today and like I mentioned 5 years from now, and also making sure that what's incorporated in our services is an awareness of what do they have what do they not have that they should have, as far as benefits, as far as understanding how they can actually acquire a home. Most veterans don't even realize that if they're wounded, and think about it, wounded, and you're wounded for the rest of your life, a lot of them, they don't even have to pay property taxes on their homes.
Wow.
Based on the percentage. So if you're 30% disabled, then you only pay 30% of the projected property taxes. If you're 100%, you only pay nothing.
Right.
So there are so many things that they're not aware of. So even though we're providing them housing information, we also provide them to put them on a path to stay in that home. And how can we do that? Make sure they know exactly what other benefits out there that they need to know about.
Right, absolutely.
That's going to make that home ownership option or rental option a successful experience for them.
A little bit easier. So a veteran could come to your organization and be able to obtain the information and support.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
That's great. And where are you located?
We're at 1831 East 79th Street. The main streets are between Jeffrey and Stony Island.
So where's that, South Shore area?
South Shore.
South Shore area, you guys out there, so it's no excuse. So talk about a little bit about preparing to become a homeowner. What's kind of a first step for people?
The first step, I really believe, is doing a self-assessment. Why do you want to buy a home? And financially, how much home can you buy? You get those two questions answered, you're on the road. Because even if you're not ready to buy right then, you at least know where you are. So if you have an income that says you can afford $200 a month, you're not ready.
So are there really for real programs out there to help that process of becoming a homeowner? And is it required that you attend? I know they have home buyers sessions and seminars, and you become certified. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, we walk them through the process. So the process, we start them right where they are, which is understanding about buying. Do you really want to buy?
Okay.
And then we start exposing them to the steps, one step at a time, because we don't want anyone to be afraid of a process.
Right.
It can be overwhelming,
Right.
getting too much information at one time. So there are opportunities right now, oh Lord, there are opportunities for people to have down payment assistance, closing costs, and down payment assistance.
Wow.
$17,000
Wow.
and more.
Wait, 17,000?
17,000. Because the push right now is to get people into homes. The home ownership ratio versus renting your home to someone has dropped considerably.
Okay.
So homeowner occupancy is just fallen. So that has to be rebuilt. And how is that rebuilt? By getting people into the homes.
Right, absolutely.
So
Okay.
the down payment closing cost assistance of 17,000 plus, because some down payment assistance programs can actually be layered. Which means you'll get this one, and then they'll layer it on top of that one with another one. And now what that can do is decrease your actual amount that your loan is.
Okay.
So your loan balance goes down because you have these down payment assistance, and therefore your monthly payment goes down.
Right, right. And how do people qualify for these services or know about these?
Well, there are income caps.
Okay.
How they know about it is to talk to a certified housing counseling
Right.
agency.
Talk to her.
There are a lot of ways to buy a home, and lenders out there, a lot of them aren't connected to the down payment assistance
okay.
programs,
That's-
so they're not eligible to even offer it.
Okay.
Or attach it to their loans,
Okay.
their borrowers' loans. So you have to know that you are shopping for the best deal.
Right,
And
absolutely.
we teach you how to do that. How do you find and select the best lender? The lender is
Right.
going to be in your best interest.
Right.
Which lender is going to give you the most? Because it's you. Why not? Why can't I have the most?
Right. And how does a person do that? How do you know? How do you know? I guess asking the right questions for.
Well, no, we teach you what the questions are.
Okay.
And we actually share with you what are you looking for in a lender. But first, what do you want and what can you afford? So you go in there with a plan.
Okay.
You go in with a plan, and you're sitting with a lender telling them, this is what I need, this is how much I can afford, and this is my situation as far as my income. You already know what you can afford because we've already kind of prepped you with that information.
Right.
So you're going in there and you're getting what terms, what can you do for me?
Right. Right.
You know,
right.
and then you take that information, you go to another one, can you beat this? Because you're shopping.
Right.
You're
Right.
shopping.
So I love that idea. I mean, and we know that we're shopping for homes. It's us that's shopping, but somehow I think that we become dependent solely on the lender. Like, like if I can't even get the word for it, but I love the way that you're saying. Remember, like kind of like well, they're working for you, not the reverse.
Exactly.
So we need to be educated to be able to tell them, yay, nay, this is what I need.
We are the consumer.
We are the consumer.
They're nothing without us. I'm sorry, lenders. You are perfect. You're awesome, awesome entities. We need you.
Right. I think it switches sometime. We become so attached to the lender, and I think even afraid. I heard someone that's even afraid to ask the lender the questions and don't know what questions to really ask.
Right.
Just kind of going with the flow and having still a feeling of uncertainty. And I think if you're the person that's buying, you need to be confident.
And the only way
Comfortable.
you can do that
Yeah.
is through education.
Right. Okay.
And that's what we focus on, even with our interactive programs. We focus on the fact that there has to be an educated, a time when you get what you need. What every homeowner or every renter, anyone seeking housing has to have is an understanding of what they're doing and how the numbers fall.
Right. So I have up here the flyer. So talk a little bit about the webinar series. What should people expect from that? When you say interactive, what does that mean?
Two things. One, during the sessions, you're able to communicate with the instructor. During the sessions, you're able to talk with our guests because we have lender guests. We have all different types of people, professionals that can come on, and you're able to communicate directly with them.
Okay.
So that's the interactive. The other part is once you're on the road to knowing and understand how to keep a roof over your head, that process never stops because life continues to change.
Absolutely.
So throughout their lives, after they close, after you move into your rental unit, if anything were to come up, you can actually connect to one of these classes, these sessions. Oh, I'm sorry, I moved it. One of these sessions, and you can understand what you need to do to get back on track.
Okay.
Because when life happens, it happens.
It does.
You want to know, what can I do? Also calling our office and setting up a one-on-one session. But the point is that we're in Chicago. And when it gets cold, it's very hard to go outside. So this way you're able to be in the comfort of your home. Hopefully you have a computer. If not, just be on the phone and listen.
So viewers, Facebook, those that are watching, they are offering interactive sessions, online sessions. You can go into the office, or you can do it from the comfort of your home. You pull out your laptop, get at your desktop, and kind of go through this interactive process. They have 4 sessions coming up December 7th. The conversation is going to be being financially fit, financially secure. Session 2 is December 21st. Is good credit that important? I'm going to ask you that question when we finish. Session 3 is beginning the home purchase process, which is December 26th. And then session 4 is January 11th, getting ready to close. So I'm going to make sure that everybody gets the website and information so that they're able to go and check out the services and these sessions that are being offered. So let's go back to that. Is good credit that important? I'm sure our viewers want to know. I'm sure those that are watching on Facebook that's in that process. Is good credit that important?
Good credit is extremely important because it's your lifelong report card.
Right.
It says who you are. It says to the world, I know how important it is for me to manage my money. And I have taken the time to find out how.
Okay. I like that.
And once
part.
you show that, it shows in your credit score.
Right.
So I know a lot of people say, well, no, I pay cash for everything. I hate credit cards only because they've had a bad experience. That's the only reason. They've had a bad experience. They went into it without the understanding and the education about it.
Okay.
So if you go in blind, you're going to roll around in there blind.
Right. So what is the credit score needed these days to purchase a home? Or does it vary?
It varies from lender to lender, but you wind up paying more because the interest rates are going to be higher.
Right.
So it could be all the way up to 13% interest rate.
Oh, wow.
Because like I said, there's all types of lenders out there. It's legal, but all types of lenders. And based on your credit score will determine what your interest rate is going to be. If you save over 3 years, let's say you're 18 years old, by the time you're 21, you want to be able to move into your home or your 2-unit. You can actually save up for those 3 years and you can buy down your interest rate. So planning ahead, and that's why we really encourage anyone that has said these words, I can't wait till I get my own place. That could be 18, 17 years old. You have to be at least 18 because you do have to sign, because we do have to create a file for you. But you can listen. You don't have to sign anything. You can listen. You can do the budgeting. You can still be interactively involved, but you just can't sign for the services until you're 18. But think about it. Anyone 17, 16 can understand this, and then by the time they're ready to get a place, they are ready. We will have a new age of home ownership and rental, because rentals will have less evictions and homeowners will have less foreclosures.
Right, and let's talk about that. I know I'm looking and those that are watching on Facebook, and I imagine those that are watching via CAN TV, we have a lot of homeowners already. What services are available to those that are already homeowners? And I imagine, folks, I just had someone share that, like, the mortgage is behind, like, what to do, and kind of like in panic mode. So what services and what's available for those that already are homeowners?
That's an awesome question, and I believe in retention. So, yes, we want people to come into neighborhoods and buy, but we want those that are already in the neighborhood to be able to stay.
Absolutely.
But I don't want them to stay fearful if they're going to be able to stay in their homes. We want them to enjoy their homes. So, our services for homeowners are we review your mortgage,
Okay.
and that can be done one day. You come in, we review your mortgage, and we let you know what is out there that you might not be aware of that can help you be in a better position with your home. There's two types of homeowners. There's one that has a mortgage and it's with a regular lender. Then you have those homeowners that are in reverse mortgage. Now, they own their home, they're in reverse mortgage, but there are some laws that are in effect that they were not aware of when they first got this reverse mortgage. Well, our job is to make sure that we help them before it gets to a point of no return for them, because the law that was in place when they first got the reverse mortgage. Quickly, it's that if there's a husband and a wife and only one person is on that mortgage with a reverse mortgage, a lot of people have lost the homes when that one person spouse, when the spouse passes, leaves the other one, but that other one was not on the mortgage. So we're seeing a lot of that. We're seeing a lot of homes being lost because the family did not know the home was in reverse mortgage. So we have a campaign that's starting in January to help get that word out that if you have a reverse mortgage, you think your parents have a reverse mortgage, encourage them to get the review of their mortgage, because if we can catch it in time, we can make sure that that other spouse will never have to leave the home unless they want to. The other mortgages, if they need a modification, we walk them through that without getting a bankruptcy. We want you, when you get a bankruptcy, it's because that's the only
last option.
That is the absolute last option. So we have all of the services. Every service includes financial capacity, education, and we make sure that when you walk out of our office, you have a budget.
That works. I see I'm looking on here, it says home repair assistance. I know that's probably a big one for homeowners, and thinking about it's winter time and the furnace goes out, and who has $2,000 to replace the furnace? So what type of assistance is available to homeowners?
Well, the service that we provide right now, if you're living in the suburb, they have, in the rural areas, there are grants to do repairs. There are none for the city.
Well, of course not.
Bad news. I'm so sorry to say that. We're trying to get that rectified by getting programs that would, if you only need $1,500 to put the shingle back on the roof, before the rest of the roof comes off, why can't you get that $1,500 and get that done? And then pay whatever your budget actually can afford, can show you can afford, and pay that $1,500 off. Now you've secured the home. It's not getting worse. Whereas now you got to put on a whole roof. And you got water damage. So it does not exist. There are some repair programs out here. There's one in particular with the city, but there's some special criteria that you have to be able to be eligible for, and we will help to see if you're eligible for that. But then there's a lot that's around being a lottery. But who wants to do a lottery when you're talking about your roof coming off? So the home repair assistance also means sometimes we'll work with someone with their budget, their financial decisions on a monthly basis. What financial decisions are you making on a monthly basis? And when we go through that budget with them, we'll find you really can't afford to do the repairs. If you can do this. So we help them structure their budgeting, and when we've done that, we have found that they actually do have enough in order to make that repair.
Okay. One of the things that I'm hearing in everything you are saying as it relates to affordable housing housing, whether rental, or you buying a home, already own a home, is that there is help and support to be able to help navigate that process. And so often that we are trying to figure it out solo. And it's just good to know that there are organizations like yours in the community. And I just want to encourage people to utilize Miss Mary Jones, and check out her organization and seek out that information, versus giving up or finding yourself in housing that you really can't afford. Finding out that you're in situations where you can't afford. Here, you can definitely start here with the free interactive webinar weekly series. The next one is starting on this Saturday, session 1, December 7th. The next after that is December 21st, the 28th, and January 11th. You can do them in the office with Miss Mary. Bring your laptop, or you can do them at home. And what is your website? What's the website for people to sign up?
www.agoraservices.org. That's Agora, AGORASERVICES.org.
Okay, we got a couple of minutes left. So what are your final words to our viewers, to those that are watching on Facebook? What's your final words to them?
My final words are: do not wait until something happens with your housing. Get as much information as you can now before it happens, and you will find yourself prepared for life, because life will happen. So visit Agora. We're there waiting for you, because we want to make sure that you have all of the possible information that you need in order to make the decisions that you have to make concerning housing.
Right, I love it. So there are resources out there. We want to make sure that our communities, urban communities, low-income communities, are not missing out on the information that can make a difference, whether or not they are homeless or not. There are special programs for seniors and veterans, and those that already own home are already homeowners. Of course, those who are trying to purchase a home, and those who just need some direction in that aspect. So,
and I wanted to throw in, the reason I'm here on your program, Georgia Doty program, is because the health is affected by how much stress people go through trying to stay in their home. So you become ill, or it's exasperated because of the fear of not having a place to stay.
Right. We definitely need to have, as they say, a roof over your head. Has an impact on your health. So we thank you so much.
And thank you for allowing
Miss Mary Jones, for being here, for sharing the information. You guys know that I will post her information on my website tomorrow. And you will be able to reach out. She is right in the South Shore area. Again, services, information, that's available, so no excuse to go out and get help. Thank you for tuning in to the Doty Report on Comprehensive Health. We will be back next Tuesday at 7:30. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you.